I'm gonna hit one real quick. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here out in the garden, and I just want y'all to see some of the growth of the planting that I've been doing. Tomatoes, bam, pepper. It's real nice and peaceful out here. I used to spend hours in the garden with my grandmother. Since I was a little boy, I would be out in the yard with her for hours. And then whenever I would just get tired or something, I would just look over to her and be like, Grandma, it's time for you to try to make me something to eat or something. And then she would go and make me something to eat. And then we'd go back out in the garden all day and work in her yard. She used to call me my Munch. She like, what my Munch doing, you know? So yeah, I really I love this. I enjoy this. I enjoy the nature. I enjoy being out here. But the greatest part of it all is I grew it myself, and I'm thankful that I've learned this skill. So y'all have a blessed day. And just like life, you got to pick through the weeds so you can grow. I'm 40 years old. I've done 15 years of my life in and out the system. I'm named after my dad, and we don't even have a relationship. I ain't have no father figure. All I knew was the streets. That's what my example was. I had a mother and stuff who raised me up good and stuff, but I chose to leave that life behind to go to the streets. That was my own personal choice. For me as a kid, it was a game. I'm selling drugs like I'm Mario Brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's a game in my mind. It was fun, but it wasn't fun because in the end, my same results have always happened. Do wrong, hey, it might be good for a while, but it's always going to end. Selling drugs is it's always looking over your shoulders, never get a good sleep at night, always on a run, always trying to chase money instead of letting just money come to you. And this is the local corner store. Like this building right here used to hustle from. I'd be in the building or I'd be in the store, basically just meet everybody like in this general area. Try to be discreet about it. Yeah. And then my restaurant was right there. And then I actually lived in the top floor up there in that building. Okay. This was like a real drug infested area at one point in time. It brings back memories because I remember right there is where the first assault happened by the police. It happened right in front of that little square doorway right there. They just came and basically said they were coming to my house for a gun, but I never had possession of the gun. I went to turn around. 7 officers assaulted me, and then I was out to the point where I couldn't breathe. I was just totally unconscious, and they just drugged my body and threw me in the back of a police cruiser, which was behind my restaurant at the time. The jail wouldn't take me because of my injuries. And then my next assault, that's when I was actually hit by the police vehicle. And then once I was on the ground, officers beat me up. And from that incident is where I have screws and plates in my neck, and I had to get my whole neck rebuilt. My body's been through a lot of trauma. During my time of growing up here, like it was normal for us to get beat up by the police. It was normal for the police to take our money and just do whatever they wanted to do. That was just normal. And then as I was in my addiction out here in these streets, it really like messed with my head because now I became the product of what I put out. From there, it was just a downhill spiral. Like I pretty much like just gave up on myself, gave up on life. I was in Florida on a run from the police. I had a conversation with one of my friends up here. She came to me and she said, my option, Munch, is I have this guy who wants to be my sugar daddy, and he's gonna take me and my kids, and he's gonna take care of me. Or she was like, help me. So what did I do? I said, okay, well, I'm gonna come up there and I'm gonna show you how to sell drugs. Took all day, like it was a class. 2 weeks from that, I go to jail for a year. So when I got out of jail, my friend, she had a lot of money, and I was like, wow. We go get something to eat, and she takes me home. And then, I don't know what time it was, but she called me up and was like, I'm coming to get you. And I was like, you can't come and get me. I was like, because I'm on house arrest. And I was like, I'll go back to jail. I was like, we ain't doing that again. I was like, I'm trying to stay out. So she says to me, she was like, all right. So she hangs up the phone. Okay. 10 minutes later, somebody goes in her house and blows her head off. What? Put me in a real deep depression. I was a friend, and instead of taking my friend and being like, hey, let's go get a job, I taught you how to sell drugs. By me teaching you how to sell drugs, you being in that life, your life got taken. With all that happening, I tried to kill myself. There were some drugs around that it was stamped. This is killing people. And I did the drugs. As I'm dying, the people are like trying to lure me back in this room and telling me to lay down, right? And God told me, he said, you better get up. And you better get out that door right now. And I listened to God. And I got up and I got out that door. And I'm crawling through the streets of Rochester. My friend lived down there by Domino's. He's like, what's wrong with you? Get in there. Rehab commercial comes on. After I called a rehab, I called my grandmother. She comes and gets me. And when she picked me up, she was like, boy, what's wrong with you? You look like you ain't slept in days. What's wrong with you? You need something to eat. As soon as I got to her house, I just went into her prayer room. I go to sleep for 2 days. When I wake up and the phone rings, it's the rehab. The rehab says, we're going to be there in 30 minutes to pick you up. Go to my grandma. I say, Grandma, I'm going to rehab. She starts crying. Even when I was out in the street doing the wrong thing, she always just prayed over me. She always spoke life over me. My grandma was my best friend. She passed away 3 years ago. She had already beat cancer, and then it came back. And it was nothing I could do. But that's when I got serious about life. And I said to myself, I ain't got my crush no more. I realized that I can't do nothing for nobody unless I'm getting me all the way together, you know? Because trying to do it any other way, that's where you have bad results. I know that she's proud of me, and I know that, you know, she's seen the full circle within me, you know? And that's the reason why I even joined the Crop and Kettle program. It's because she died of cancer, and I wanted to be able to control my own food and stuff like that.
To be honest with you, I thought that I was just gonna be cooking because I'm the first student ever in the 5 years to go the agriculture route. So that was exciting for me, and I was thankful for Tim to just change his whole curriculum for me. Sometimes I would just look up in the sky and I would be like, Grandma, I know you're here with me, and we're gonna get through this today. I'm at the end now. My younger self, you know what I would tell my younger self? I would tell him, it's okay. It's okay that you ain't got a dad. It's okay that you ain't never felt that male love. I would tell myself that that's not the route you want to go. I spent so much time angry, and I spent so much time hurt, and I spent so much time trying to prove myself. I know through my experience that you gotta just release certain stuff, and you gotta really fully put your faith in God and say, I know that God's gonna handle this. I really just had to let it go. I had to realize that, we only get one life. When I was younger, I took away from the community. Now I'm giving to the community.
Good afternoon, how y'all doing? Brunch with Munch. Today we got some Bam. Also, we got pineapples, hot cocoa mix. So come on down. Brunch with Munch, free food, you can't lose.
I'm giving my time because I know what it is to be hungry. I know what it is to be homeless. I know what it is to be on drugs. I've experienced having a whole bunch of money, having all the women. I've experienced it all. But the man I am today, I am different from that person because I think before I do. I care more. I look at it like, hey, I wasted all this time. I don't want to waste another second. But now I'm just trying to have a good life, That's all I'm striving for right now. It is about me,